Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. JCF fleet boosted by handover of 25 more pickups. 25 new pickups were handed over to the Jamaica Constabulary Force during a ceremony, the third such handing over for this year. They were handed over by Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang to Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson. Speaking at the ceremony, Commissioner Anderson said this boost to the JCF fleet will enhance the operational capabilities of the force. The vehicles will aid in quicker response time and overall service delivery as the JCF continues its path of transformation with effective presence across the island.
This should see an increase in our visibility on our highways, on our communities, and in some of our rural areas that have been stretched so far to provide the quick type of service that we desire to do. As much as we want citizens to know that we are capable of responding to their needs, the criminals out there, gangsters, must know also that these vehicles that are here are not just here for show. They will be conveying our police officers who will be after you to bring you in if you are continuing or have done crimes across Jamaica. We are just about coming out of a period of state of emergency, and we'll be going straight back into Operation Relentless as we continue our activities against the criminal element, and particularly those people who have chosen a life of violence against our citizens.
Government to amend laws in bid to $1 billion investors. The government will be moving to amend some of the country's legislation surrounding business operations in an effort to $1 billion investments. This according to Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. Speaking at the Invest Jamaica 2022 Business Conference, Dr. Clark said the government must create the environment that makes private sector investment profitable. In that regard, the Large-Scale Project and Pioneer Act will be updated to attract billion-dollar investors. He explained that the Act will have provisions in it that allow qualified investors to access certain benefits. The investors will be required to hire a minimum number of Jamaicans.
We will be, hopefully by the end of this fiscal year, tabling in Parliament the amendments to the Large-Scale Projects and Pioneer Act to make it operational. This is an act that aims to attract investments of $1 billion or more to Jamaica. So we have omnibus incentive legislation that is the framework for everyday investments. And those have been going well. But with the track record that Jamaica has established and with the macroeconomic fundamentals that we have, which are strong, our goal now is to attract investments that are $1 billion in size and more. But we're going to do it in a transparent way. The days when you would go to a minister and work out a deal and come out of the office with some big incentive, those days are over. This will be an act with the accompanying regulations that set out in advance what the criteria are. And anyone, Jamaican or Latin American, European, African, Asian, North American, anyone who meets those criteria will benefit under this act.
Holness urged law-abiding citizens not to see dons as protectors but as pests. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is urging law-abiding citizens to not see dons as protectors but as pests. Speaking at the Jamaica Labour Party Central Executive meeting on Sunday, Prime Minister Holness said gang violence is prevalent in Jamaica and citizens should not glorify gang members. Citing the high level of gang violence in Haiti, Mr. Holness noted that Jamaica could be heading down the same path if a stern warning is not sent to gangs.
Gangs have become a threat to your security. Stop looking at the Don in the area as your protector. He is a killer. He is a pest. We must get them out of our communities. And those political organizations that hug them up, that seek to cripple the government from acting, to treat with them, under the guise of protecting human rights. Whose human rights are they protecting? Certainly not yours. They're also looking to corrupt institutions. They can't survive unless they find a way to control a police officer. That's the reality. So they're always seeking to befriend a police officer, if it's even to get information when the police is coming so that they can take for themselves. They're always seeking to have their own person inside the force. Same thing with the prison warders. Same thing with customs. And it is not unheard of with politicians as well. You know, certainly in my lifetime, my recollection of Haiti is that it is unstable. And it has always had criminal gangs, criminal elements. But this is the first that we are hearing of a criminal gang that has the power, that has the reach and the wherewithal to challenge the state, to determine when fuel and food will come in. So I want you to understand that the threat of criminal enterprises are real threats.
Classes suspend at Homestead Primary as teachers protest. Classes at the Homestead Primary School in Spanish St. Catherine were disgruntled on Monday morning due to a protest by teachers. They are calling attention to a number of issues, among them concerns about how they are treated by the principal. The educators also expressed concern about how the school's principal has been dealing with what they describe as extreme misconduct by a student. Meantime, there was an altercation involving a cameraman who was trying to record the protests. One teacher who refused to give her name told reporters that a meeting is now being held between teachers and officials from the Education Ministry to see how the matter can be addressed. JFF labeled Bailey's comments as false, urges him to provide proof of corruption. The Jamaica Football Federation, JFF, has refuted claims of corruption and victimization leveled against the organization by national footballer Leon Bailey. Bailey, in an interview on the Let's Be Honest podcast, alleged that he has been getting a fight from the top brass of the JFF since he was as young as 8 years old due to his ties to Phoenix Academy boss Greg Butler, who is also Bailey's agent. From me about 8 or 9, me get fed from the Jamaican Federation, from people they are the top man in the federation, and them they are people up to this day, today, we in the JFF can't look in my eyes, Bailey said, indicating he believes the fight was as a result of his ties with Butler. He continued, "Them a fight me from me a little youth. Them even try to block me from going to Europe. The man them link embassy until them say no make me get the visa. The last time I go to Europe, a Cuba me have to fly through and get the visa for going up," Bailey shared. However, in a release on Tuesday, the organization labeled Bailey's comments as unfortunate and false. The JFF said, while they would prefer to handle disagreements between themselves and players internally, the interview, which has been widely circulated on social media, have left them no choice but to respond. The JFF has tried to comment on this as we are hoping that this would be handled internally, but based on the comments received from the public and stakeholders, we have been forced to comment publicly. We want to say that it is quite unfortunate that these comments were made and in such a public manner, as we had hoped that we would have arrived at a place where any disagreements are handled internally, the JFF said. It is also unfortunate that Leon had apparently felt this way about the JFF, especially while playing for the Jamaica national team and not expressing it, and knowing his commitment to the program and country. The organization further expressed disappointment at allegations of corruption, stating that they consider Bailey an important member of the national team. The organization labeled the accusations leveled at them by Bailey as false. The JFF has always seen Leon as an important member of the national team, and what he said is baseless and is consistent with recent similar comments made, which we have called for evidence to be shared, either privately or publicly, so that we can act on it. To date, no such evidence has been shared, the organization said. We also find it impractical that a child between 8 and 12 years would understand that the actions and motive of the JFF or any organization would be with any clear understanding as first-hand information. The JFF said that by alleging that it has the power to block an embassy from issuing a visa, Bailey's statement implies that the embassy is complicit with the JFF in acting in a corrupt manner. The organization has since sought to assure the public that they do not possess the ability to influence a visa decision and would never seek to intervene in such a process. In the meantime, the JFF has asked for evidence supporting Bailey's accusations to be presented, even at its referred to the matter to management for review. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and